Graham, they're at the top of the hour. Let's get started. Rock it out and let me get going with everyone.
Sounds good. Yeah, waiting room is disabled. People can come in freely. Thanks everyone for stopping by and welcome to today's webinar, End 2022 with a 12-week plan for you and your assistant, hosted by MAPS coach Monica Reynolds. Before I kick it over to her, I have 3 quick announcements. Please note this meeting is being recorded. I will share the share the link in the chat momentarily to the MAPS YouTube channel where the recording will be within 24 hours. When I share that in the chat, please make sure to copy that and save it for the recording being available later today. Currently, everyone is on mute. However, we do value group participation, so we ask if you have any questions for Monica, please type them into the chat box. Following the meeting, if you have any questions about today's call or other coaching programs, please email us at fasttrack, that's FASTTRACK @kw.com. That's all from me, Monica. The floor is yours.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for getting on a call on Monday. I call Mondays Arsenic Monday from the weekend and Fridays and catch-up time. So I know we had a phenomenal sign-up that you guys are interested in this. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm Monica Reynolds, and some of you know me. I've been around forever since the dinosaurs. I've been in real estate over 44 years. I wrote the books on assistants in the 80s and 90s and team building. And of course, that didn't go over well. People said, oh, it's my business. You can't give it to an assistant. And so long story short, they're still on Amazon. Don't buy those books. I've got more dated, appropriate material now. So the basics never change, however. So, you know, things have evolved over the years. And so today is about a checkup. It's ending the year with a checkup. And so the 12-week year is about production. I'm about systems. So that the systems relate to the production, and we all know that. You want to build duplicatable and scalable systems. So when I say to you, winter is coming, and I used to live in North Dakota, that meant I had to stock up the pantry, 3 little kids and 2 dogs. I had to probably go out or have someone help me wrap the food. So Toy Wells, we need you to get on mute, please. Thank you. I had to wrap up the outside water faucets. I had to take in lawn furniture. I had to get the snow tires on my car, etc. So, red alert, winter is coming. The shift is coming. The feds announced that at the end of the month, they're going to raise the rates again because people keep spending. Imagine that. So inflation hasn't stopped. And so winter is coming as a shift. So be open-minded to a 12-week plan on looking at your systems, which ultimately increase production. So here we go, and I grin, thank you so much. So let's go to the next slide, and we're going to just look at this quickly, like a second. So the next slide is who I am. I've coached more agents than anyone in the country. I'm known as the systems person, and I also work for Dave Ramsey. And Dave Ramsey, I ran the EL Doors Local Provider, ELP program. And with that, of course, I wrote all the materials for that program for many years. Next slide. So let's get into it. Don't be worried. See this? You can take a picture if you want. I'm going to go through these, but I'm going to go through them right now quickly, and then I'm going to wrap up the call again with this slide. So you can take a picture or you can get the recording and you can see it. So week 1, starting this week, take the time to analyze your database on the scale of 1 to 10. Look at how many completes you have. A complete is name, address, phone number, and email. Do you have 10% closed transactions from people in your database? So those are 2 things. Third thing is, how did it grow from last year? So if you haven't been tracking, it's the only asset you have. It's not a Louis Vuitton bag or your new Escalade. It's none of those things. It is your database. So completes, 10%, growth. Now, if you're lacking in those, bingo, you have something to work on. So get the completes, name, address, phone number, and email. Week 2, and I'm going to go through these with the slides coming up. Database. So you may want to go back and clean them up. And there will be people that you know you don't have other information on. You have their phone number, but you don't have their email, or you have their phone and email, but you don't have their address. Go back and call them. So you may need more than week 2 to do that, of course, right? Week 3, reviewing marketing plan for 2022. Do you have a client appreciation party? Are you doing Pie Day? Are you doing a pumpkin day? Do you have pictures with Santa Claus? Do you have Christmas cards going out? Holiday cards going out? Do you have Thanksgiving cards going out? Do you have a weekly email update? Do you have a video going out? What is your remaining marketing strategy? So far, should be pretty valuable for you to, really think about where your business is. Week 4, remaining social media campaign. So Instagram is a really big deal right now. Facebook ads, community updates, personal, careful with the personal updates. Don't get too in the weeds on that. And so what is your social media? Week 5, review sources of business. So this is for lead generation. What kind of return are you getting? So what is your ROI on lead generation? If you're paying for something, what's your return? And so you really have to look into that, and you need five sources of business. 5. Now, those are your top sources. You may have 18, but what are the 5 that drive you the most business? Now, we'll talk more. Stay tuned. I'm just giving you the full picture here because I know how you guys all behave. Well, what is it? What is it? So there it is, okay? Week 6, a business planning retreat. So if you don't have an assistant, then you get your lender, you get your title, you get maybe your team leader to sit down with you, maybe the OP. Get a couple of people to sit down and go through this with you. Week 7 is your top 25 clients. What? So make a list of your top 5, then your next 5, then your next 5, and put a dollar sign. If you're listening to me, put a dollar sign next to each one of those clients and tell yourself how much money you've earned from them. How many referrals have you got from them? And you don't have to get to the penny. So your high C's out there, relax. Put a number in there that makes sense. Oh, he got divorced, he bought that house, and he gave me a referral on his brother. Average commission is $7,000. Okay, he's worth $21,000. Do that. At least sign a number to them. Put a value next to that. It's a pretty good tip if you'll do it. Week 8, review sources of referrals. There's 5 sources of referrals. So when someone says to me, 35% of my business is referrals, I go, really? In what categories? Or they'll say 80% is referrals. And I go, what categories? It is agent referrals. How many in that one? Team referrals. How many? Vendors. They should be giving you referrals. I have a whole system for that. Past clients. Sphere of influence or center of influence. How many in each of those categories? Do you see that by week 8 now, you really diligently take a look like an autopsy of your business, and you're carving it open and trying to figure out what's going on? Peek under the hood, as they say, right? Week 9, client for life playbook. What is your playbook to create a client for life? What is your playbook to have constant and never-ending repeat and referral business? So in that playbook, what are the letters? What are your client appreciation party? How are you recognizing people? What are the phone calls you're making? What is all of that about? Week 10, all right, schedule for 2023. The first thing you put in your schedule is your vacations. The second thing that goes in is your assistant vacations. Never the week before family reunion or mega camp or anything like that, and never the week of, and never the week after. Okay, so everybody's clear. Everybody's clear about that. And then training, personal time, spiritual. So, I've always been a person that likes to put things in my day timer that I can recognize immediately. So personal time has a happy face, because that's my personal time. Family and friends, I put a heart next to it. It's just the high. I'm a DC, but there is an I that comes out occasionally, like just then, right? And then I'll put, like, the spiritual, I'll put a cross. And when it comes to lead generation, lead follow-up, writing and negotiating contracts, I put a dollar sign. A dollar sign. And so how many dollar signs do you have in your schedule? How many things do you have for yourself personally? You need to take care of yourself personally. However, the dollar signs have to be in there also. Okay. So maybe you have Friday night's date night with your significant other. Maybe Saturday afternoons is always for your kids, or Saturday morning. And so, of course, then that would be a heart. So think about the things that you want to put in your schedule. Week 11, marketing plan for 2023. Okay, so that would be the events, customer events, social media, emails, videos, reviews. Get it all lined up. So the first Wednesday of every month is a video goes out, which means the last Wednesday of every month, you're doing the video, right? Remember, 2 minutes is the best video in the world. That's all they're going to watch. So think about, what is your marketing plan? Now, week 12 is fine analysis of your business with the gaps and getting that business in plan. So who's missing, what's missing, when is it going to be done, and how is it going to be done? So don't be worried. You'll see that slide again. But let's roll, because this is a 30-minute call, and I'll open it up for questions. So next slide, Mr. Graham. So on this particular slide, this is about the database. And the database is your only asset. There is no other asset in your business. If I was going to come to your office and I'd say, I'd like to buy your business, tell me about your database. Would you like to show it to me now, or do you want a month to recover, right? When do you want that? So I want you to think of really clearly, are you tracking the growth of the database? Do you have a monthly marketing plan for the database? Do you have smart plans in place? Is there an opportunity pipeline? Are you using that in command? And of course, then Facebook ads. And you could add a whole bunch of other stuff, but that's it in a glance. All right, so let's go to the next slide. So on this particular slide, let's take a look at, Graham, did you miss a couple? Because I'm not in order with you on this. But that's okay if you are. I can do it like this.
I can go, go back.
Yeah, I think, sorry, I think he jumped and I'm going, okay. All right. What's the next? Where's that? Now, where's the systems? We didn't do the systems one yet, Graham.
Systems one.
There. Okay. Where's this? Okay. Right.
This one. Okay. Cool.
Okay. All right. Wire systems. That's what we missed. Okay. I know my stuff, guys. Okay.
All right, perfect.
All right. Systems are important. Okay. They increase business, excellent customer experience, and efficient roadmap. They're duplicatable, scalable. I mean, you guys all know this. It increases profit. So the next slide should be the systems that you need to look at, hopefully. Let's see what they are. Graham, next slide. Oh, there you go. Okay, evaluate your system. So here's just a few. And you need to have systems on every single one of these. Hiring, database, listings, buyer. Remember, they're duplicatable and scalable. So each system you have as a foundation, then you build from those as you move forward. A buyer system, a pending system, communication, customer for life, tracking numbers, lead generation, sources of business, your ROI, we talked about that, social media, reviews, referrals, client appreciation, top 15, 25. No, we're not sending the slides, but they're on the recording. So take a picture with your camera if you want. Short sale, if you don't want to go back and listen, and then goal setting. Short sale, well, yeah, I hear they're going to be back. So let's just wait and see what happens there. So the next slide, Graham. So the lead systems, all right, so in lead generation, this is a complete system. And so in the training that I do in the Perfect Real Estate Assistant, it's all about systems. It's for agents and assistants. I'll explain more coming up. How is your lead systems? Do you have 5 lead generation systems that you could show me if I'm coming to your office next week? What's your quarterly return on investment? Are you focused on market of the moment? Hey, newsflash, there are expireds out there. There's lots of expireds in a lot of the markets. Have you switched a gear to start looking at those and making phone calls? Market of the moment. Do you have a schedule for your lead generation systems? So for example, you lead generate in the morning for this, you work on Facebook ads for this, it's all time blocked in your schedule. And what's your budget? And are you looking at that? So a global answer is 10% of your GCI should be budgeted for marketing. Now that could be too much or not enough in some of your cases. Okay, next slide, Graham. Thank you so much. Next slide. So on this particular slide, it's about reviews and referrals. You have to have a system. It's mastering the ask. So by the way, Alana, thanks so much for joining the call, and I appreciate talking with you. My business is based on referrals from great people like you. Who do you know right now who's thinking about buying or selling? So you've got to have that script, and every single person you're in front of, you're saying, hey, I love selling the American dream. Who do you know right now who could use my help in buying or selling? You have to have that down, that every single person knows 5 people in the next year. Every single person knows 5 people. 5. They know 5 people, and it's your job to find out who they are. And your job to say, gosh, I appreciate it. You don't know anyone right now. May I ask you a favor? If you do, could you text me real quick? I would so love that. Is there anything I can do to support you and your business? How are you doing? So remember, the ask, you've got to master the ask. You know, reviews and referrals, the magical touch points. When somebody says something to you and your assistant or you are working on a listing, they say, oh, it's so great how you guys communicate. Stop. That's when you say, thank you for recognizing that. You know, our business is based on 5-star reviews from great people like you. May I send you a link to blank blank? Would you just take a minute? We would so love a 5-star review. We would love for you to mention our team name. So it's not about the assistant's name. It's the team name. It's your name, whatever it happens to be. Wow experiences. So every single week, I ask my assistants in a form on communication, what is the 5 things you did to move the business forward? What was week high, week low, and how did you wow a customer? We have to have weekly wow experiences. We have to be sure that we all understand right now, Zillow is a real estate company. They're coming after us. Everybody's coming after us. Everybody wants your client. Your client has to be in contact. You have to be in relationship. Okay, increase your income through past clients and center of influence. Every single person you're in an interaction with right now, in a listing, a pending, a buyer in your car, get a referral from that person while you're working together. I have a buyer in my car and I say, gosh, John and Jane, it's so great working with you. And it's so fun to find you your first home. And I want to ask you a favor. I love to work with other couples like you, or a single person looking for their first home or for a home. Who do you know right now is thinking about buying? Everybody knows someone. It's everybody. So you have to ask. We are salespeople. We are not order takers. You want to be an order taker, go sit in a model home and good luck with that right now, right? Agent referrals. Are you networking at the highest level? Are you networking with people that are, an hour away in another market center, trading referrals back and forth? Are you going to mega camp and family reunion purposely coming back with business cards? Be very clear. The agent referral network we have is extremely good if you want to participate. Right? Okay, next slide, Graham, please, sir. Okay, so one of the things that I want to share with you on this is that this is your assistant business plan. And when it comes time to do one of the weeks that we talked about was the business plan. And in that business plan, I think what's really important is to make sure that we recognize assistants, buyer agents, ICAs, which is inside sales agent, which is a telemarketer slash. These are the great support people. They should have a business plan too. And so we always, as an agent, we go, okay, here's our business plan. Here's what we're doing. And I want you to hear this loud and clear, that this business plan is for your assistants. Should you have one? Of course. Business plan for assistants about reviews, referrals, about their sphere of influence of who they know from their past job, neighborhoods, church, working out. Their friends and neighbors are different than yours normally. Okay. All right, next slide, Graham. And so on this particular slide is it, I think you missed one, Graham. Go back. Go back. Go back. Okay, no, go back. I think there's one more there.
There you go.
Oh, the buyer agent one. Okay.
So I was trying to help out in the chat and things got away from me. There we go.
Okay, it's not on the screen now.
I can take care if you need me to keep resharing that link so you can focus on the slides if you want, Graham.
You're good. We're good. Yeah, everything's good. Thank you, though. Appreciate it.
This is Graham's first time helping me. My assistant is on vacation. Why would she go on vacation?
Hopefully not my last.
I know. So we might go back to the top because I think there was one or two that was missing there. But so you guys, thank you for giving us grace on this one. Okay. So the buyer agent has a business plan also. How they look for business is totally different. They need to go to open houses and be very successful at that. They need to door knock. If a buyer says, I want this area, go door knock and find something off market. What are they doing to help bring in leads? What are they doing to find those properties? So it's very clear they have a different business plan. Okay, next one, Graham. Okay, go back up to the top so everybody will give us some grace. Go all the way back up to the top. Okay, all right, Judy, can you go? Can you mute Judy?
Judy?
Go.
Judy, can you mute?
Mute her. Judy Gill, mute her, Graham.
I'm losing the controls. Judy, can you mute, please?
Judy Gill is not listening.
Monica, can you hover over her and mute her?
I cannot. I unmuted.
Oh, there we go.
Right. Okay.
All right, perfect.
Okay,
Sorry, which slide? Which
okay,
slide, Monica?
Go to the next one after this one. So I'm going to recap everything for everybody.
Okay.
Go to the next one. Okay, keep going. Okay, keep going. Okay. All right, stop there. That's one we didn't talk about. Social media.
Gotcha.
Define, set, choose, create, variety. If any of you went to Mega Camp or you listen, there was a young man who does Instagram. He's 21. I can't even believe I'm telling you this. He does 100 transactions from Instagram. Really? Now that wouldn't be anything I would be looking at. But however, if I was an agent right now in today's market, I'd be on, we're figuring that out. We're not going to be left behind. So that's something to really make sure that you are diving into that. If you went to Mega Camp or you have access, ask your market center, they got a file with everyone that was in market camp, at Mega Camp, and that was a whole system put there. Okay, next slide. So the next slide is the systems are important. And again, when you join the Perfect Real Estate Assistant class, I go through every single one of those systems that are scalable. Next slide. Okay.
Wait. Can you go back 1 second? Sorry, I was trying to find the IG name for Emilio and I'm also taking pictures. I'm so sorry because I know people asked his name. So can you just go back that one slide?
Sure. And then remember, you're going to get a copy of this and you can just hang on those slides and pause it all you want.
Oh.
So this is why systems are important. And so when you hear what I'm talking about, and then I want to recap. So you guys hang on, I'm going to recap those 12 weeks again after what we've seen. So, okay, she's got the picture. Let's move on. Okay, so the next one that you want to make sure is that these are some of the systems that you want to evaluate. In the Perfect Real Estate Assistant, we go through every one of these systems. And so you're not having to reinvent the wheel. Next slide, Graham. So make sure we've covered them all. Okay, your 5 sources of business. You guys know that you might have 15 sources of business. What are your 5? And if I was to come to your office, what is your plan? What's your marketing plan for 2023? More importantly, what's your marketing plan for 2022 to finish off this year with a 12-week plan? Okay, next one, Graham. Reviews and referrals, key point. You should have at least 35% of your business coming from referrals. But remember, I said there was 5 sources of referrals: agent, vendor, team, past client, center of influence. Break them out. Don't lump them together, because you would be shocked when people go, gosh, I'm really not getting anything from my past clients. I'm getting it in all these other resources. So we need to pay attention to the past clients. Next one, Graham. These are the business plans, the executive assistant, the agent, the buyer agent. Okay, keep going, Graham. Next one, please. And those are key things for you to have at this time. So I have a buyer plan. Next one, Graham. I have a business plan for every single person on the team. Okay. So if you get anything out of today's call, and I hope I make an impact on you, you have time to evaluate. Okay. Lift the hood up and check out your engine that you have. You know, week one, what's your database assessment? You should have 5,000 people at some point in your database. We've done studies at KWRI where we know that the people at 5,000 have the most growth in their production. So they can see what your database is, and then they're measuring the growth in the people that have 5,000. So you want to get to 5,000 completes. Name, address, phone number, and email. If you told me you have 3,000 names and emails, I go, well, so what? You've got to engage them to get their information. So what? Now, when it comes to week two, database cleanup, what are you doing to clean those up? Where's that going to go in your schedule? All hands on deck. Your assistants can call, you can call, start cleaning up that database with completes. That's where the money is. Week three, a marketing plan. What is your marketing plan for the rest of 2022? You should have one video going out a month. You should have at least 1 or 2 emails going out. Thanksgiving cards are my favorite. Nobody gets Thanksgiving cards, so send those. Order them right now from Office Depot and get them going. Then mail them out a week before Thanksgiving, or maybe 10 days before, the way the mail goes lately, right? In a client appreciation party, are you doing a pie day? Are you doing this? So in my training, I give you a complete system for quite a few of the client appreciation, starting 6 months out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the 4 weeks before, everything you should do. When it comes to your social media campaign, what are you doing? What have you not done that you should figure out before 2023? Sources of business, I've talked to you about that, but it's also about the lead generation systems. You should be evaluating when you have the sources of business. That part is going to be, where did that business come from? Okay, it came from X. How much am I paying for X every month? Okay, it came from our client appreciation party. Business planning retreat. I gave you everything, you know, several of the business plans, but real estate's a math equation. So you've got to have your numbers of everything that you've done. The key number to start monitoring, if you haven't done, is appointments set. Appointments buyer set, appointments seller set, because that will tell you if you're doing enough activities. If you read MREA book, it's all about the appointments. It's all about the appointments. And by the way, it's about the appointments. If you don't have an appointment this week, what are the activities that you're going to engage in to get that appointment? Okay, reviews from sources of referrals. We talked about that. Client for Life Playbook. How do you get every single client that you're currently working with right now in a transaction give you a referral? You start with the promise. And of course, that's a whole nother system there. Week 10, schedule for 2023. You start with your vacations first, and you put that in your bold planner, your planner, whatever you're using, your Google Doc, whatever calendar, whatever you're using. I learned that from Gary Keller. I asked him and I said, what's the one thing that you do on your calendar first? He goes, gosh, nobody's ever asked me that question. I log in with Mary, his wife, all the vacations that I'm going to do, so that I've made that commitment to our relationship, to our family. Good idea. Good idea. And so again, I hope you like, you know, if you're into, you know, making sure you can look at your calendar and see, okay, where have I taken time for family and friends? Where have I taken time for personal time? It's all about you two personally, right? Week 11 is your marketing plan, team events, customer events, emails, videos. We talked about that. Final analysis of your business for 2023. Who, what, when, and how. Who, what, when, and how. So who's missing? What do you need to do? When do you need to achieve it by? And how is it going to get done? Now, a couple of things. Client appreciation parties, I'm going to give you a tip. If you do this, you will get a 20% referral return. If you have 100 people, you will get at least 20 referrals. Pay attention here. It's part of what I do in training. I have a form where they sign in. So you have a clipboard. You have 5 or 6 clipboards. Somebody's coming to one of your client events. Everyone signs in. I don't care if they're your brother, they're the guy next door, you know them, you say, please sign in. you have everybody sign in. By the way, if you know of someone thinking about buying or selling, please fill out the bottom where it says referrals. We would love for you to have a bottle of wine or an Amazon gift card or a Starbucks gift card. Who do you know is thinking about buying or selling or has questions about real estate? Literally, the people that I coach will go scrolling through and go, can I give you more than one? And so as a ratio, the gals and guys that I coach get a 20% return. Now, let's say that in that 20% return of referrals, only 10% are going to do something immediately. 30% will do something in 9 months. It's like birth, right? And the rest go into your database, which gives you another reason to talk to them because Jim or Jane or whoever referred them to you. Okay, next slide. Do you have a PDF for the client event Shine issue? Well, of course I do. It's in the training, but just listen to what I said. You're going to create one yourself. They sign in, and if you're doing pies, you're going to have pumpkins all over it if you want to get into the visuals. Then you draw a line in the middle, and it says, for your referral, we thank you. Choose one. Starbucks card, wine, Amazon card. And then name and phone number. You're not asking for anything else but name and phone number. So usually they can scroll through that. They're not going to know their address. They're not going to know their email most of the time. So it's name and phone number. So you can do it yourself very simply. Any questions? I'm Monica at monicareynolds.com. And then Graham, let's go past this slide and throw in the YouTube recording again. I want to share with them what the class is coming up. The class is at perfect timing. Next slide, Graham, please, sir. The class is October 12th, which, believe it or not, is on Wednesday. It's a live call. I teach it. No one else teaches it but me. I've been doing this for a very long time. Like I said, I wrote books in the 80s and 90s. Some of you haven't been born then, if that's okay, I get it. So this is for agents. The first call every month is for agents. You need to do a great job being a boss. It's very costly not knowing how to communicate and what material should be put into place. If you don't have 30% of the calls are agents who don't have an assistant yet because you want the systems. Perfect. Then all the calls are for you. The second and third call, I ask you as an agent not to join those calls. Those are for the assistant only. I can really dive in and help them as a group when I don't have agents on the call interfering. These are all calls about systems and playbooks. Everything that was mentioned, I have a system or a playbook for. There's 3 calls per month. They're 1 hour long. Graham, we do not have the $100, is it Web 100 that they could put in there to sign up today and get the discount? Graham, yeah, Web 100. Okay, so when you sign up, okay, and let's go back to the link where they sign up, Graham. When you sign up, you're going to receive a 450-page policy and procedures manual over the course of the calls. And so over the course of the calls, like first call will have 30 pages, another call will have 50 pages. So you will see all of those different playbooks and systems. Now I'm going to open it up for questions. So you can put it in the chat box or you can raise your hand. It's $199 per month. And this is the price, believe it or not, that I charged in 1991. And so the price has never changed. You know why? Because I enjoy what I'm doing and I love what I'm doing. And I love the fact that I've coached more agents, top agents than anyone in the country. I've either built the systems, rebuilt the systems, or just kind of borrowed them. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Real estate is a math equation. It's very simple. Real estate is a playbook of systems. So I encourage you to make this investment because this is the perfect time of the year. I wasn't going to do a call this time of the year. I was waiting till January, but there was a lot of agents and teams that reached out to me saying, hey, we need to probably get this started earlier. Can we get started? We don't want to wait till January. I said, great, no problem. So again, it's $199 per month. It is for you and your assistants. The calls are recorded. After the course is over, there are 2 months after that. So you will have access to the recordings, to the material for 8 months. So if you miss a call, it's not like you're, oh, too bad for you. You go back, you listen to it, and you always get the materials. Okay. All right. So Graham, let's answer some questions. Okay. Let's see. Monica, in a year that is shifting, should we be planning for 2023 to be less? I would plan for it to be more productive. Are you kidding me? When you have systems, you are more productive. This is where you gobble up the market. In every type of market, and I've been through 5 or 6 with short sales, with REOs, I did more business because some agents get on the couch and go, who took the cheese? I can't find the cheese. You're not that person. You put the system to place, you show up every day, you make the calls, you ask how you can help, you have open houses, you lead generate, you will gobble up market share. This is the best thing that can happen for a person who has a work ethic, has the skills, and has the talent, and wants it passionately. Winter is coming. We don't die in winter. We just get ready for it. So the same thing for you. Get ready for it. So it's at 12 o'clock, 12:30 Central. And you can always watch it if you can't make those calls, but try to make some adjustments if you can. Oh, thank you. Someone was sending their assistant and they said they were really grateful. So that's good. It is so good because I make sure that the assistants they are your secret weapon. They move the trains down the track. You're the lead generation. You're the salesperson. You go out there, slag the dragon, and bring them back. Okay, so when you hear me talk, you will know that I always appreciate and take the side of the assistant. They change your life and they change the lives of the customer. Only if you have the training. Only if your assistant knows how to communicate. Only that. And I have 50 scripts for assistants on how to make the client feel good and how to set up the movement through the transactions. Okay. These classes are better live. Well, I'm live. That's for sure. We do have a 2-day boot camp, but don't worry about that one yet. That's coming up. But first step is you come to this class. Oh, I'm sorry. It's on Wednesdays at 2 o'clock.
Yeah. You're good, Micah. The current one you're doing is the 12.
Okay, good. All right. Did you see a question in there that I missed, Graham? If you do not have an assistant, this class is for you. The agents who take this, they're empowered because they know where they need to work on some things and they've got the tools to do that. It's going to take 2 people to implement everything, but get the tools first and you'll get a big binder. You'll put everything into the binder. You now have the systems as a reference manual. You will have the toolbox. Okay. Is my assistant's been through it previously?
This is a really good class. Her name is Monica Reynolds.
Okay.
And she's like,
All right. Hey, Donna, can you go on mute? I think I can mute you. No, I can't mute her. Okay. So if your assistant's been through before, let me ask you a question. Why would you go through Bold more than once? Why do you go to family reunion more than once? Why do you go to mega camp? Why do you go to any training more than once? Because you're here at different levels and the market's doing different things. So we are now shifting. So my focus is different on some of the things that we're bringing on. The material always changes every single time. One, I couldn't stand to do the same material over and over again after all these years. Yet there's some basics that are the same. However, the focus is on the shift. So right now, bulletproof your transactions, tactic number 12. I go through that now in the program. I didn't have to do that a year ago. Who cares about bulletproofing? Anybody's going to buy something, they don't care what. No, the roof caved in, the well doesn't work. We're still buying it. Oh, we'll pay $100,000 over ask price. Okay, no warranties. Great, whatever. So it's different now. If you haven't noticed, the buyers are squirrely. They're asking for crazy stuff. And the sellers still think we have the market a year ago. So if you haven't noticed, transactions are a little tougher right now, just a little bit. So the material does change. So if your assistant's been through, make the investment. They listen at a different level. And there's no way they could have implemented 450 pages at top level. They will hear things like, oh, I didn't hear that before. Or, oh, we should do that now. Some things were not right for your business then, and now they are right. Graham, is there any other questions you see there, sir?
Yeah, I see a couple. I scrolled up a little bit. There was one. Do we get the materials that you will be training the assistants in PRIA? I think that's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get the materials each week. I don't send you the whole book because it's too much. It'll blow your brains out. I mean, it's like, why? So 1 week at a time we do it. And so yes, the first call is on communication. You have to have a system of communication with your assistant. More importantly, what is your system? If I asked you right now, email it to me. What's your system of communication with your listings, with your pendings, with your buyers, with your database? And so I go through a whole system of that. What do your meetings look like? I give you that. I mean, it's very in-depth, all of those. I go through job description, schedule. I go through that whole system. I give you job descriptions for every single person on your team that you're hiring or going to hire or have hired. I get real clear with everybody on that. Is it one registration for the team? Yes. Isn't that good news? If you have 3 assistants, and I recommend you put buyer agents on it, they need to know the systems of what an assistant does so we can all appreciate and respect what they do. All right. What else, Graham? Do you see a question there?
Do you recommend getting a new hire through the first 90 days before investing in this training for them?
I recommend if you can hire now, hire right now, put them in the program. If you can't hire right now, get in the program. They can go back and listen to the calls that they missed. At least you're going to have them. If you have a VA, I would say 20% of the calls are VAs from all over the world, and it's very helpful for them to hear the material, see the material, and it gives them the big, broad picture, which a lot of agents don't have time to share with a virtual assistant because they're not there day to day. So I highly recommend that. Yeah, I don't care in your team. If you have 5 people, put them on the call. Doesn't matter. We just need to know it maps who's going to get a link, or they've got to share the link with someone. All right.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's part of the value. Like I said, I haven't raised my prices since, 1991. And all I'm asking is that I want you to come to the call, and I want this to be the most powerful call and session of training that you have. I will cut through all of the systems. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Everything you saw on the screen, you're going to get a system for that. And they are up to date, they are current. And like I said, I still coach, so I still get all the systems and I know exactly what's going on out there. The Amazon gift card, I see a question there. The Amazon gift card is like $15 is what most of them buy, maybe a $10 bottle of wine. They can either get up front. When you ask for the referral at a client appreciation event, do you tell them up front that they will get a bottle of wine and an Amazon gift card? What I said was, when they come in, you make them sign in. Now that's foreign to a lot of you when you have a client appreciation party that they're signing in. They might put a name badge on, but they didn't sign in. Give them a clipboard, have 5 clipboards that says, thank you for attending. And if it's a pumpkin pie thing, put pumpkins all over it. Dress it up if you want. 1 piece of paper, they sign in their name and their phone number. Okay, underneath that is a line that says, thank you for your referral. If you know of someone thinking about buying or selling or has a real estate question, please give us their name and phone number and choose what you would like. Amazon card, Starbucks card, or gift of wine. And so there's a table over there with those things on it. If they hand back the clipboard and they have a referral, you go, here's your bottle of wine. Okay. All right. Hope that explained that. All right. Let's see. What else, Graham? Anything else there real quick?
I did see a few questions about relevancy or like commercial real estate in your program. If it's,
here's the thing. I've had a lot of commercial assistants attend because, and they've successfully loved the course because they have to, communication is communication. Okay. The other thing is job descriptions, you're going to have to retailer some of it, but some of it's very similar. I used to coach commercial agents at Marcus and Millichap. I've never wrote a commercial deal. I've referred them all off my whole life. And yet I knew how to coach them. It was about lead generation. It's about follow-up. It's about closing. So it's all very similar. So if you're commercial listening to this, there's so many things that can be taken as a blueprint. Say, we got to tweak it here, but this is how we do it. Got to tweak it here. This is how we do it. Is it for rainmakers and admin or all agents on a team as well? Well, you tell me. If you're paying for one and you've got team members, they can join the call. It is for the rainmaker who's in charge of the assistants. So if you have several assistants, they can all get on the call. Who is working with the assistants to make sure that the systems are going smoothly? Or here's our database stuff, or here's our client appreciation. Here's our client for life playbook now. So the rainmaker should be on the first call because they tell you what I'm going to share with the assistants so that you can put a plan together. But I also teach you how to be a great boss and a leader. Okay. All right. What's next? What else did you see there? What is the end date? 6 months from October, whatever that is. October, I mean, what is it? March or something?
March 15th. March 15th is the final session, number 18. Correct.
Good. And so just remember this, everyone. When you think about this, when I come to your office and say, I'd like to buy your book of business, what does that look like? Where are your systems? Where's your policy and procedures manual? I go through all the policies. That's why agent call is different than assistance. I talk about time off. I talk about pay. I do not discuss that any way, shape, or form with assistants. I deflect. I will not talk about that. So don't worry about that. That's not going to happen. But on an agent call, I talk about those things. I talk about what should be in a contract. I talk about how to avoid getting into a lot of trouble with an independent contractor. All assistants should be licensed. All assistants should be licensed. If they're coming to the office at a certain time, you know, virtual is different because that's a different business. But if you have an assistant coming to the office and they have to be there at 8:30 to 5 every day, they have a job description, they have hours, you absolutely must have them be an employee. And so I go through that, you know, different companies to use that make it really, really easy, that are very, very inexpensive to keep you out of trouble there. Okay. All right. Raise your hand if you have a question. I've got a few more minutes if you want more information. The other thing is I highly recommend, please consider coming to the class. I pour my heart out in this class. I answer questions. I'm live. I will be your coach for the next 6 months. I will get those 6 things into play, those 12 things into place with you. Okay. All right. Question. All right. Okay. I don't think. All right. Thank you, everyone, so much. Appreciate you hanging on the call a little longer. Have a great, awesome week. Vanessa, you have a question? Go ahead. I will unmute you, I think, or you unmute yourself. There you go. Vanessa, what's your question?
Okay, thank you, Monica, for taking time to host this call. I just had a quick question. Where you have first call is leadership call for agents only. Is that the first call every month is the leadership call? Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Vanessa. The first call every month is for agents. The second and third call are for assistants. And I only do that, like I said, because what I do at a higher level of regarding pay, contracts, things like that. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else want to jump in real quick? Okay, everyone. This call's been recorded. It's in the chat box. Put it back in there one more time, Graham, if you don't mind. You
Not
guys
at all. Yeah, the recording will have the slides available, like visibly. So yeah, good to go there. Thanks for bearing with me. I'll take a PowerPoint presentation training this afternoon.
Graham, thanks. Everybody's going to give us grace, Graham. I know they are. We did our best, and I appreciate you, Graham. You did awesome. All right. Just missed a slide or two, but I knew my material. I'm going, I think we missed something. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Thanks for giving us some grace. And go sign up. I want to see you on the call Wednesday. Thanks so much. Agent only on Wednesday. Thanks, everybody.